Somebody stop her. She's becoming too powerful. By which I mean me. Oh my god, I can't believe how many freaking Yuri writing projects I've been working on in the last, year? More? And yet I've gone and come up with another one. What can I even say at this point? Except, you're welcome! Hello everyone, welcome to the... Wait, what am I showing on screen right now? Is this something I should be... That's not necessarily something that I should be showing on screen right now, but it's fine. Have a look at the pretty diagram. It's fine. Hello, welcome to the stream, folks. Hope we were doing good. Hello, TV. Hello, Nucleus. Hello, folks. Hopefully you're all doing good. Welcome. Hopefully we're doing good. I'm Melanie. We're writing today. It's been a while since I've done a writing stream. Remember last March? TV will remember last March. You remember last March? Actually, wait, how much will you remember last March? That's an interesting question. How much will you remember last March? Last March, I was writing a story for a visual novel. And I got, about like 1,200 words in. Not 1,200, 12,000 words in. Give myself some credit here. And I ran into a mental block. But, there's a reason I ran into a mental block on that project, okay? There's a reason I ran into a mental block on that project. And I can tell you exactly what the reason is. It's because I'm trans. But I hadn't accepted it at the time. I was vaguely conscious of it at the time. To the extent that I wanted and felt it was important that I include a trans character in the story. And I love that character, but I wasn't, when I got to the stage where I was writing them, I couldn't. Because I wasn't there yet. I couldn't write them because I didn't understand them yet. Or there was something holding me back from writing them there. So yeah, that is actually non-ironically the reason why I stopped writing that story. Because I hadn't accepted I was trans and I couldn't process it yet. But that problem's been averted now. That little road bump has been overcome. I've accepted my nature. Not that I was like, fighting with the nature back then. Like that wasn't the problem. Hold on. That wasn't the problem last year. The problem wasn't that I was like denying it. It's that I was still figuring out whether it really applied to me and how much I related to it, kind of thing. It wasn't like a denying it and hating self kind of thing. It was just this is going on. What's the deal with this? So yeah, that's why that project stalled. It's not stopped, but I mean, like it's been paused, but it's not never going to be done. It's just a question of me making the time to do it. But I came up with another idea for another story that also includes a trans character, but not as like one of the main characters in it, kind of thing. Not one of the main 4 characters. Well, I mean, they are one of the main 4, but it's like this one. There's more of a main 2. And the trans character isn't one of them. But they are still important. Anyway, doesn't matter. But yeah, now I've overcome that mental block. I can actually make progress. I can make progress. So yes, we're writing again. I've got another project. But as well as that, I've got some clearly... Yeah, you can see the names on the screen just now. The names of the characters are here. It's great. But yeah, so I'm setting some limitations on the project, so that I don't have to... Is SAFT short for something? Oh, I'll get to that. There's reasoning behind... Okay, there's some reasoning behind the name SAFT. We'll come back to it. We'll look back around to it. Don't you worry, Nucleus. But yeah. So, there are some rules. There are some ground rules. The story's going to be 5 chapters long. That's it. I've got 5 chapters to work with. It's going to be set in a contemporary setting. It's going to be set in the modern world. It's not going to require extensive world building. It's going to be very, very easy to write in those regards. It's going to be very familiar to me. It's not going to be like taxing my world building skills, because that's not the problem. I like my world building skills. My problem is my writing skills and my writing experience. Like, I read a story that I wrote, like, God, when was it? Like years ago. I don't even remember how long ago it was, and it still kind of holds up, and I don't know how. And I was blown away by it. I was genuinely blown away by it. I was like, Mel, how did you write this when you were a kid? And it still holds up. So I want to kind of like bring that back again. I want to bring that back. So that's kind of what this kind of project's going to be. So yeah, contemporary setting, limited cast number. It's going to be... Yeah, it's also going to help me kind of process a lot of stuff personally as well, or rather express myself, express how I'm feeling at this moment kind of thing. In a very complex way. Listen to me being all... listen to me being all... what's the word? It's like... shit, it's escaped me. Pretentious, that's the word. I'm being pretentious already. I love being pretentious, it's so much fun. But yeah, I'm gonna get to express myself through this one. It's gonna like deal with some insecurities and some lessons and some fun stuff. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be nice. It's also gonna be sexy. I've decided it's gonna be sexy. It's not gonna be unsafe. Okay, actually, I've not decided if it's gonna be unsafe for work, but it's gonna be sexy. It's a Yuri story. Okay, it's Yuri. I like Yuri. Yuri's great. But like with an exploration of sexuality, there is an unspoken understanding that there's going to be an exploration of sexiness. Also, Racer, welcome to the stream. Thank you for the follow. Hopefully you're doing good. Hopefully the idea of a Yuri story sounds interesting to you. But yeah, welcome. Hopefully you're doing good. So yeah, I had some logic behind this. Yeah, where was I? Yeah, Yuri. It's gonna be a Yuri. So yeah, and I want to explore the kind of sexual aspect in there. Pun intended. Juicy. Yeah. No. Nucleus, you are much closer than you understand. You are so close to the understanding. Saft means juice in German, and it's bothering you. No. Believe it or not, this actually makes it even better. This makes it even better. Now, I don't remember what my logic behind the name was. I was trying to figure something out. I don't remember exactly what it was. I was trying to figure something out, and oh yeah, no, it was. I remember now. I was trying to find a title that could be somewhat derived from sapphic or sappho kind of thing, as in, you know, lesbian. Is kind of what I wanted to do. That's where it came from. And I was thinking sappho, sapphic, sapphire, saft. As in soft. Saft being Scots way of saying the word soft. Oh, you're going saft. Kind of thing. Like saying that someone's gone a softie. They've gone soft. As in very like emotional. Very emotional. It's derogatory or pejorative, meaning like you're weak or you're timid, or, you know, to like lean into a little bit more kind of feminine kind of thing. You're soft, you know, you're not hard, you're not tough, you're not strong kind of thing. And then that kind of flowed into the original scene that came into my mind when I was thinking about it, which I'll get to later. The German pronunciation would be Saft. Ah, Saft. Interesting. Very interesting. But yeah, as it happens, I've kind of came around to there being a bit of a fruit theme going on here. And that's not just because it's LGBT. There is a bit of a fruit theme going on here, because I was thinking to myself, okay, we've got two characters. One of them's going to be the soft character. They're going to be quite meek, they're going to be shy, they're going to be repressed, and this person's going to be the soft character. So I was looking up name lists, as one does, and I came across the name Clementine, which actually does have as one of its definitions soft. And it also refers to the clementine, as in the relative of the orange, which is a very soft fruit, which is also appropriate, which also ties into some imagery that I want to put into the story as well. I was walking to and from work recently because I just started a new job. It's great, but I noticed this really weird thing as I was walking there and back, and I noticed that like there's some works going on near me, and for some reason, on every single one of like the temporary like light displays, we've got like big transformer boxes underneath hooked up to a floodlight kind of thing. But like for some reason on every single one that I've walked past recently, there's like a piece of food left on it. And it's either like an apple core, or it's some pineapple chunks, or an opened like tangerine or clementine. And I'm just like looking at these fruits, like while I'm thinking about the scene that kind of set this all in motion. And I was thinking, man, like our soft character. This is before I even thought of the name Clementine. Clementine was yesterday. But I was like, yeah, no, the soft character, just like this mental image of them like on their way to university or what have you, and they see this rotten fruit or this like off fruit that's just been abandoned and left there, and like that being the way that they think about themselves at the start of the story kind of thing. Because like obviously it's going to be, well, I'd say obviously it's going to be exploring, you know, negative self-image and stuff like that. That's going to be like a bit of an aspect of it. Not something I majorly deal with, but you know, it's an anxiety that one runs into. And I thought it was going to be like a really interesting metaphor to put there, and maybe have as a little mini plot element. So yeah, no. Hearing that the name Saft is like German for juice just makes it even better. Actually, because it kind of leans even further into the fruit theme, which is very nice. I like that. Thank you for sharing that, Nucleus. I fully approve of that. So yeah, Clementine's going to be our soft character. I've put a good bit of thought into her. She's great. I like her. And then we've got our hard character, the counterpart to Clementine. And that's going to be Brianna, which is, I believe it's like a kind of, yeah, I believe it's actually the Celtic version of the feminine for Brian, which means strong, basically. So yeah, I sense not enough tangled connections in this graph. Triangle troll, you are absolutely correct. I just got started working on my manuscript for this last night. I have notes, I have paper notes, but this is the first opportunity I've really had to start putting things into Obsidian, which is what I'm using to write this. There are going to be more connections, but not necessarily to characters. I want to keep the character count low. This is going to be it's going to be a 5-chapter project. I've decided. But yes, welcome Triangle. I hope you are interested in. Well, it seems like you may be interested in some Yuri writing. So yeah, I know the soft. I'm using it too. Ooh, very nice. Yeah, no, I like it. I've not used it enough. I need to use it more. Also, Alceus, good to see you. Thank you for the hydrate. I actually do have some orange juice with me right now, so I'm hydrating with that. It's very nice. But yes, where was I? Oh yes, Brianna. So yeah, feminine name of Brian, Celtic origin, which is nice because I'm vaguely setting it in Scotland because, you know, familiar with Scotland. It won't be ridiculously on the nose, but, you know, just to avert the whole, yeah, let's make it Japanese because, you know, we're all weebs here. It's going to be weeby. It's going to appeal to, you know, Yuri audience kind of thing, but it's not going to be like immersed in Japanese like language and culture and what have you. There may be some references, but Not it's not dependent on that kind of setting kind of thing. And also it's familiar for me, which takes less mental effort, which is good. I'm all about reducing mental effort lately. So yeah, Brianna, she's a strong one. Feminine form of Brian, which is a name that means strong. So yeah, just a solid name. And yeah, she's gonna be mango mead. Wait, wango mead. Wait, hold on, that is a name right there. I for some reason I read it as mango weed, and I think that might be part of the joke. Thank you so much for the raid. Hopefully you're doing well. You're playing Papa's Beccaria. Oh my god, that sounds interesting. That sounds interesting. Thank you so much for the raid. Hopefully you're doing good. Welcome, raiders. Hopefully you're all doing well. You're all very welcome here. Yeah. Papa's Beccaria or Bakeria? Is it Bakeria? I think it's Bakeria. Hopefully you enjoyed. Do tell me what it's like. What's about? What's going on there? I imagine it's some kind of like baking thing. We're bing chilling. Interesting. Making pies. Oh, interesting. Crying. Oh, right. Eating ass. Oh, well. My. Fancy. Fascinating. I think I have a bit of an impression of this game. Wonderful. Hopefully you're enjoying it. It sounds like you are. But yes, for those who may be unfamiliar with me, I am Melanie Bell, mad scientist extraordinaire and science gatekeeper. And yeah, I came up with an idea for a Yuri story in the last couple days. So yeah, we're actually putting pen to paper, or rather fingers to keyboard, and doing a bit of writing for that today. So you're very welcome to be here for that. If that sounds fun. I do creative stuff on occasion. I do some programming. I do some game development on occasion. Some writing from time to time. I've got some scripts in the background that I've been wanting to get around to finishing writing. So many projects. Aside from that, RPGs, strategy games, just beat Dark Souls, which was very fun. Yeah, if you're very welcome to chill here with us. That'd be lovely. But yes, we're just going through my my characters that I'm coming up for this Yuri story. It's contemporary setting, Western setting, Yuri story, minimal characters, 5 chapters total. Probably a word count somewhere between 20 and 30,000, although we've heard that one before with a previous project. Which I ran into mental blocks on, but they have been overcome now, which is wonderful. But we're starting off with something simpler. So yes, we're working on Saft or Softy. I'm debating whether to lean into the Scots and go Saft or just call it Softy. But either way it works. It's also a pun because it sounds kind of like Sapphic, which is appropriate because it's a Yuri story. Anyway, yeah. So we've got Clementine. She's our soft protagonist. She's going to be the point of view character for, at the very least, most of the story. And we've got Brianna, the strong one. I've not even got around to describing her. She's basically the short one, not as well developed as Clementine in several ways. She's got a rough home life, and yeah, that things haven't been really going very well for her lately. She's lashing out a lot and being quite aggressive and unfriendly towards Clementine, despite the fact, minor spoilers ahead, that they used to be very friendly in the past. Like before they went to university, they were very good friends. But then something happened. Something happened that led their friendship to become strained, and now Brianna's being mean to Clementine. It's very sad. Wango, pass out because it's 2 a.m. That sounds about right. Go rest well, Wango. Thank you so much for the raid. You get yourself rested. That sounds like a good plan. But yeah, take care. Be good to yourself, Wango. Thank you so much for dropping by. But yes. Yeah, it's been interesting. It's been a very interesting story so far. I'm having a lot of fun with it. Quite a lot of fun with it, actually. All the best with your writing. Thank you, Al. Thank you, Alcias. Thank you so much. If you've got to go rest as well, you take it easy. Be good to yourself. We'll catch you soon. I hope. Bye-bye. But yes. So that's Brianna. She's not in a great spot right now. and she's kind of taking it out on Clementine, which is a shame. But it also serves as the inciting incident for the story, which is going to be very fun. I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be interesting. This is going to be interesting. So I spent now annoyingly I've done a lot of writing here. There's a lot of writing here. So yeah, ignore this bit. That can just go. Let's just delete that. That's fine. So yeah, it's going to be a suggestive Yuri with elements of romance, drama, and probably some comedy because apparently I'm a bit of a funny writer. Suggestive Yuri short story about a shy, reserved, and repressed girl being physically and sexually taunted by an aggressive, delinquent girl. What's not to love? I will work on the blurb a little bit better. The story explores their previous close friendship, the circumstances that led them to their current dysfunctional relationship, and the events that lead to them overcoming both the distance between them and their own personal issues. So yay, it's going to be a happy story. I'm thinking it's going to be kind of similar to like Nagatoro-san, the plain girl sitting next to me. The relationship between them is like really dysfunctional. They do not get on well. But there's a degree of enjoying it as well. And yeah, both parties end up becoming slightly better due to the way things develop over time. Although it's not going to be kind of as funny and like cute as Nagatoro-san is. But it's also not going to be as like edgy. Well, actually, the plain girl's not really that edgy. But it's a lot more people really not being able to talk to each other very clearly. But it's going to be a bit more than that camp, I'd say. But similar to those kinds of series, I would say. Target audience, Yuri fans. I know it's primarily male. Understandable, to be entirely honest. They've got good taste in this regard. But yeah, hopefully it'll be interesting to other people who enjoy Yuri. I've got some friends who do enjoy Yuri. I hope it might be of interest to them. If they read it and gave me their thoughts, I would probably really appreciate it. It's going to be leaning into kind of like emotional and contextual aspects of the relationship rather than being, entirely like physically or hopefully not too male gazy as well. More suggestive of heat rather than, just them being sexy on screen or on the page, I suppose. Because yeah, that's kind of what I want to write. So yeah, we've got Clementine, who has her own page that I've not even started writing yet. We've got a long little paragraph here for Clementine, one for Brianna. We've got ones for Clementine's parents as well. I've not yet came up with much detail for Brianna's parents. Although they will have a role to play in the story. But I don't know if they're actually going to get any like page time. I don't know if I'll actually directly write about them or if they'll just be referred to and the relationship inferred from there. I'm doing a thing where I'm having Clementine's father be a trans woman who's just like lovely and great and is probably a little bit of an author insert, to be entirely honest, but you know what, we'll have some fun with it. And then there's Heather's mother, who is, yeah, I see Clementine's father, who she does refer to as father. But yeah, my father, Jillian, kind of thing. But yeah, no, I'm doing this thing where she's kind of like, in a sense, the older Clementine. So she's like not she's I've not decided exactly who Clementine like inherits her genes from regarding her parents, but like in personality wise, I see Jillian as being quite similar to Clementine, very kind of the soft one in the relationship, the sweet one, the one who needed a lot of support when she was younger. And then Heather, Clementine's mother, is going to be a bit like an older Brianna in a sense. She's going to be quite bold, proactive, very assertive, doing business trips and stuff like that. I see her being a bit more like that. That's how I see them kind of working their kind of dynamic. Not entirely sure if Heather's going to make it into this story. Maybe she'll make it into future aspect of it, but I like the dynamic. I like knowing that the dynamic's there, and if it makes sense for the story, I can fit it in. Let's see what else is there. Yeah, I've got notes on key imagery for like the first chapter and the I've got like the first chapter and the flash forward kind of, or the flash back, which I think will be an in media res start. I think we'll start in media res with a flashback, and then it'll flash forward to the current day where things are a bit more mundane and less stressful and bothersome, and then the drama will happen. So yeah, I think I've got notes for like the first chapter. I've got a rough outline written on paper, which I have in front of me right now, which will inform how the entire story goes. Yeah, I've got a good excuse me, bear with. So yeah, we'll see where that goes. There's actually a bit less notes than I expected there were. But yeah, no, it's been really interesting. One last thing, actually, before we get to actually writing, you've had a good chance to read this now, so I'm going to move this. Yeah, one thing that kind of led to this actually happening, the day that I started like thinking about this story, or where it kind of came to my mind that I wanted to write this story, was that there were a couple days earlier this week where there wasn't really much happening at work. I was sitting bored, there was nothing to do at all, so I just put on a video, one that was on my YouTube watch list. And it happened to be, if you're in my Discord, plugging my Discord again, if you're not familiar, if you've not been in my Discord, yeah, I posted a link to it in the media sharing section. It was a link to a 3-hour-long video by ContraPoints analysing the good aspects, or rather the powerful thematic aspects of the Twilight series, which I've never read. And wait, what? Hold on. What's going on? Wait, I'm missing something. Right, no, it's fine. It's fine. Sorry, I was distracted by something. Bear with me. I need to get my train of thought back. Yes, I shared it. And yeah, it's about the Twilight series and kind of like breaking down the thematic elements, the reason why so many like young women and women in general were so fascinated by it, but also like breaking into the surprisingly deep thematic elements, even if the writing itself is, you know, not that great and is also pretty bad in several ways. It does actually have some really, really interesting aspects and implications and things that you can draw from it. Personally, reading it, or rather reading it, listening to it, I've got like 2.5 pages of notes on this video. I actually started to understand some aspects of my own kind of, how to even put it, like relationship with myself, or what I want from relationships, or my own not that great and pretty bad as a power statement. Oh, that's brilliant. Apparently I just have some really good lines. What can I say? Thank you, Triangle. Oh dear, yeah, it's not that great and pretty bad. But yeah, no, seriously, the video is well worth watching. I actually, yeah, as I was saying, I was starting to understand things about my own, well, not necessarily, some aspects of my own sexuality, aspects of what I want out of a relationship, or what kind of you know, things I'm looking for, like emotionally, personally, interpersonally. It explores like reasoning behind fantasies, or things that interest you, or why these things are important. It works on many levels. It's a fascinating video. And yeah, I would wholeheartedly recommend it. No joke. If you've got a spare 3 hours that you can have this on in the background, put it on. It is more than worth the effort. You get even more of it out of it if you take notes. Just as and when they seem appropriate, when it's an interesting point, take notes. But even if you can't, that's fine. But yeah, no, would really recommend it. Really recommend it. But yeah, no, I was thinking about that I started thinking, okay, what about my own writing? What about my own creativity? Because at the time, just as I was starting to listen to this, I'm going to tangle my own graph for a bit. Oh, you enjoy Triangle. Writing with a stream on in the background is a mood. That's very much a mood. Enjoy your efforts. Don't you worry about chilling here. If you're welcome, you're welcome to just chill here, even if you're lurking. Of course, I love lurking. I love lurkers. It's a good time. But yeah, good work with your progress, your project. Hopefully it goes well. Take it easy, Triangle. But yeah, I was originally thinking, right, I want to write. I want to write something, and I'm not entirely sure what I want to write. I was like, why do I want to write about struggle? Kind of thing is where I started. Why do I write about struggles? Why do I want to write about the oppression of society? Which is an element that comes up in a lot of the things that I've been writing before. Like my last story, the story I was writing last year. Did I come up with a name for that? I don't remember if I actually came up with a name for it, but it was kind of like exploring society in an extent. It wasn't really about oppression per se. Yeah, I don't think I ever actually came up with a name for it. What the hell? Melanie, you're letting yourself down. Or rather, wait, that wasn't Melanie, that was Mal. I can blame Mal. I'll blame Mal for everything. This is great. Yeah, no, I don't think I actually came up with a name for it. That's interesting. But yeah, ancient Mesopotamia story. It was fun. I kind of explored that. Why am I always so resonate? Why have I always resonated with the issues of women and oppression? Yeah, it's been a thing in my writing since I was like a teenager, and there were no signs. Why am I fighting against the pressure of society? Yeah, I felt that pressure for a while, and like I want to kind of put this in. And then yeah, then accepting transness, things started to come together, kind of thing, which is a thing. Then I've got little notes, write what I know, and then I ask, why do I know what I know? Why do I think what I think? Why do I feel what I feel? Other pretentious crap like that. It's great. And then I started actually taking notes of. Then I started taking notes of the video while I was listening to it. Like I was listening to it while I was thinking about what I wanted to write, and I wanted to write for fun for the most part. And then all I knew was I wanted to write Yuri. And then for some reason, the thoughts about what I want to write about and what I was listening to all kind of just merged together and came together into this this idea. Basically, I've got so many freaking notes here. So yeah, no, it's really interesting. Really looking forward to it. I say looking forward to it. I'm doing it. There's a great line. You can't logic people into being LGBT, which is very funny. I enjoyed that line. It was funny. Let's see. Where was it? Where was it? No, there was one aspect. There was one aspect of it that was like particularly interesting to me. I didn't make a note of it. Well done, Mel. Yeah, it was an interesting line. Here we go. So, yeah, the bad boy is bad to allow a good girl to remain good. This was in reference to 50 Shades of Grey, I think was part of it, which I also haven't read, so I can't really comment on it very much. Not seen the movie either. But, you know, exploring... It was relevant. We're talking about, like, what is appealing fiction to women, more or less. And the fantasies that are in there. So yeah, there was this concept of like part of the fantasy, because there's like such a expectation on women to be pure and innocent, and you know, not do things that people would think less of them for. Part of the like non-consent fantasy as and where it exists and as and where it is experienced by women, is to absolve the woman, or rather to absolve the person having the fantasy, because it's not just women, men can have it as well, or anyone can have it as well, to put it that way. But yeah, it's absolve the person having the fantasy of the responsibility of being in that situation, of being in that fantasy situation where whatever's happening is happening. It removes that responsibility from them, and when they have that responsibility removed from them within the bounds of the fantasy, being entirely clear here, it kind of like absolves them of the guilt associated with having those thoughts, and they have to kind of like surrender to just feeling good, basically, or to enjoying themselves, or enjoying the scenario kind of thing. Hello there, Adaver. You've arrived at a very interesting moment. We're discussing sexual fantasies, because of course we are. Hopefully you're doing good, Adaver. Welcome, welcome. So yeah, that's the thing. That is the thing right there. So yeah, being absolved of that responsibility, or being absolved of agency in that, allows you to actually enjoy the fantasy kind of thing. And you know, the appeal of a bad boy in these fantasies, or you know, an aggressive suitor or what have you, is that you can remain innocent and chaste, not having these impure thoughts and what have you, but you still get the pleasure because your suitor is basically subjecting them to you against your will, effectively. That is where the fantasy derives from. And having such a fantasy, having such a role established between the people involved, you know, in like consensual environments, can like liberate the people involved and allow them to actually appreciate the moment, kind of thing. It like gives you, like, by playing along with a fantasy in real life, allows you to like let loose a little, let your hair down, let yourself experience things that the normal you would not, kind of thing. Interesting vibe having someone using attraction and fantasies while we design a character sheet. What can I say? What can I say? Damn, I got really unsay-so after I realized I was trans. What went wrong? Rather, what went right? Yeah. So yeah, that's actually the aspect that's going to be going into this. Very clearly, I want our two main characters. I want Clementine and Brianna to have had some kind of chemistry between them before whatever happened and they stopped being friends. And then I want something to have happened that kind of forced them apart, or like pushed them apart. And then what ends up bringing them back together is this kind of bad girl, good girl dynamic that they're both kind of surprised to realize that they're into. And then it kind of like leads them to actually reconcile eventually. That's kind of the part. It's silly, it's fantastical. It's not meant to say this is what a healthy female relationship is, because it's not. It's meant to be a fantasy. It's meant to be a dysfunctional relationship fixing itself through ridiculous scenario. Basically, that's basically the idea of the story. It's just it's some fun, but it's going to explore something that is meaningful to me, and I really resonate with, and that I think is fun and interesting. Triangle, on your Most Alive project, you had two half-baked characters, made a theme from their similarities, and got the rest of the cast sorted out. Then I found out that one of the OG2 is flat, and they somehow don't fit into the theme anymore. Oh dear. Yeah, well, character designs. If you get a particular idea, I assume this is fan fiction or something. Which is totally legit. I've written my share of fan fiction in the past. Would still be willing to, actually. Still enjoy some fan fiction from time to time. But yeah, or wait, was this like a realization for your own characters? I wonder. Please do elaborate. I want to know. One of the OG2 is flat. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, you got me curious now. This is a puzzle piece I want to fit together. But anyway, yeah. Until Triangle gets back to us. Yeah, no, that's basically a lot of the logic and the inspiration behind this story. So I've just been sitting here talking for the last 45 minutes. Why don't we actually make a little stab in the direction of writing? So we'll create a new document. This is going to be a chapter 1. This is just a working title, a work in progress title, exposition. It's not necessarily what the title's going to be. You probably shouldn't look too much into it, but it's also surprisingly relevant in some ways. So yeah, I think there's like 3 scenes that I want to cover in chapter 1. There's 3 main scenes that I want to cover here. So we're going to do like a little scene breakdown. I often do this when I'm writing. Also, I should probably zoom in. There we go. You can see a little bit more clearly now. That's good. So we're going to have a little bit of a scene breakdown. So we've got 3 scenes, which I think is a good number. Full original work. Ooh, very cool. I made the whole outline and started writing when I found MC's inner conflict being a nothing burger because the plot was set up to conform to the theme, which the MC doesn't properly fit, apparently. That's interesting. That's very interesting. How would I resolve such a thing without seeing the story itself? I couldn't say how to go about resolving it. I would suggest something along the lines of make some light changes where possible to. I mean, it's obvious kind of thing. I'm not telling you anything that's going to be groundbreaking. You've probably considered it already. You would need to either change the you need to either change the main character to fit the new theming, like give them some new motivation or limitation or conflict that ties into the theme, even if it means, slightly murdering your baby. But, that's writing. You've got to kill your own babies. Either that or write the story that the main character's inner conflict does contribute to is probably one of the 2 options. So hey, on the bright side, you might have a great story with a different main character, or you might have a great character that needs a new story, kind of thing. I sharpened the MC's flaw already. What I had was close to what I need, but not drastic enough, so I made it more drastic. Good stuff. That's a good solution right there. Good job, Triangle. You know what you're doing. I mean, of course you do. You have at least as much experience in this kind of thing as I do. Dear. Yeah, I've been. I know I'm distracting myself again, from writing the thing that I'm supposed to be doing, but I'm good at doing tangents and also putting off work. Yeah, no, I've been. I've really enjoyed getting to see Traversing the Dark a month ago. I think it was a month ago. Yeah, it was a month ago. He's a writer friend of mine. And yeah, I really enjoyed getting to talk to him about his story. And I'm looking forward to finally making enough time to read his ongoing project, which is called Avarix, which I would recommend people check out, even though I'm literally on like the first couple of paragraphs. I really want to get around to it. I need to make the time. I really do. But yeah, I always get so motivated when I'm talking with him and with other creative friends. But yes, anyway, scene breakdown. So we need 3 scenes. The first scene is probably going to be written and rewritten several times. This is going to be the flashback. A prior intense encounter between Brianna and Clementine. Not Celentine. Clementine. There we go. Either the first time Brianna teased her, or one of the more dramatic ones is going to be the first scene. And that's going to be in Media Road. Where can I find it though? Oh, I believe it's on WordPad. If you Google Averix, it'll probably be like the first option. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Or is it on Tapas? Is it Tapas? I don't think it's on Tapas. No, Tapas is for another thing. Where the feck is it? Where is it? That is at Royal Road. It's on Royal Road. Go to Royal Road. It's on Royal Road. RoyalRoad.com. And then find Averix. Averix. It's rather cool. I like the cover art that was produced for it. Home Sweet Home. Oh, that's where you operate, Triangle. Good stuff. Yeah. What say I chuck my stuff on there once I've got this written up. That would be really fun. That'd be really good. I'll do that. Familiar spot. Good to hear. So then scene number 2. This is going to be Clementine on way to uni, feeling awful, and sees rotten fruit. Is basically going to be the scene. On way to slash at uni. If I put the slash in the right spot, that'd be great. There we go. On way to slash at uni, feeling awful, sees rotten fruit. That's going to be it. And then it's going to be the encounter with Brianna. And this is going to be like the inciting incident for the rest of the story. And all that it needs to set things in motion is a subtle wardrobe change. Says no more. Refuses to elaborate. End stream. Although I mainly operate as a scathing reviewer for now. Oh, that sounds fun. Reviewing is fun. Right, so that's scene breakdown. So the flashback is probably going to be okay. The first chapter is going to be the bit that I do the most editing on, because it's the introduction to the story, and within this, the flashback is what's going to be getting the most editing itself, because it needs to establish what's going on with the story. It needs to do some foreshadowing. It needs to set up expectations. It needs to do a lot. It's got to do a lot of carrying. The fruit is going to be like a really interesting spot. I think it's going to be interesting. And then we've got the encounter with Brianna, which also needs to be good because it's the hook. This is the hook. This is what's going to get people the hoot. Not the hoot. The hook. This is going to be what keeps people coming back to the story, ideally. So this is what we're going to work with. So do I want to start with a flashback, or do I want to start with Clementine, I wonder? And the cycle of finding an unpopular fiction with no traction, reviewers want to give the author some feedback, and finding out that the thing is ultra low effort. Oh dear. Ultra low effort stories are just painful. What's amazing though, like what I really find fascinating are stories that are just terrible. Like, it's not like they're badly written. They're quite like their use of the English language is passable. But the problem is the story's just awful and not good or interesting. but they end up being hundreds of thousands of words long and still ongoing. They're amazing. Also, you don't want the hook pushed as far into the beginning as possible. That's true. That's true. The flashback's going to be like the real hook. It's going to be what kind of... it's going to be dramatic. It's going to grab you. It's going to make you go, okay, this is what I get to look forward to. Then the second scene's going to be a bit of a, you know, a kind of cool down, reducing the stakes a little bit with some tension and discomfort. And then the encounter with Brianna at the end is going to like really drag you in. The flashbacks brings you in to the story to begin with. The encounter with Brianna is what makes you want to come back for the next one. I'm thinking, is my strategy. Now I just have to freaking write it. Well done, Mel. So yeah, this is going to be it. 3 scenes. I'm probably going to be writing somewhere in the region of 4,000 to 6,000 words for every chapter. It's probably going to get longer as the story goes on, because it always does. But let's see where it goes. Right. Flashback scene, I think I'm going to skip for now. So. This is going to be fruit, I suppose. We've got an hour to write about fruit. What could possibly go wrong? Right. Now, lesson that I learned and put into practice last year, god damn it, Mel, write more, was just write. Just get things down on the page. It's going to be awful. It's going to be terrible. Don't even worry about formatting or punctuation or spelling or anything. Just write, get the words on the page, edit it later. And also trust the process, which is a terrible piece of advice. Don't just trust the process, but this is what I'm going to do. It's fine. So, can you tell I'm hyping myself up for this? There's still that little bit in me. This little bit in me. This is the reason why I didn't actually do my writing last time live on stream, because there's a little bit of me that's still very private, that doesn't want to share what I'm doing, especially when I'm doing it start. Because I could get things wrong, because I could look dumb, because it could be bad, and it probably will be bad. But I should do it anyway. I should do it anyway. Yes, I should. Yes, I should. Honestly, mood, yeah. It's such a mood. It's so painful. It's so painful. Especially when it's writing something that I feel is quite personal here. I feel like it's really personal, this story. In several ways, actually. Kind of loops back around to being a story that I've wanted to tell for a long time. Which is always fun when that happens. Let's see, I did have... yeah, some interesting stuff going on here. Cool. Okay. I feel like, yeah, I'm comfortable writing the fruit scene right now. I'm going to write the fruit scene on screen. Or on stream, rather. I will write the flashback after, or the first take on the flashback, and then I will write the encounter scene after. I think it's important that I figure out what the flashback's going to be like, at least in principle, and then I can do the encounter. So yeah, we'll start with the fruit. I don't even know how to use the language to describe what I'm wanting. I'm wanting the initial scene to be Clementine feeling as unattractive, unpretty, unwomanly, unhappy, and miserable and uncomfortable as possible. So what am I going to do? I'm going to be absolutely hideous. And write about something that I have no experience with myself. We're going to have her on her period. It's just like a rough day. She feels awful. She feels miserable. I've got no basis to compare it to. But She's gonna feel like crap. And she's just gonna be miserable. Because she is miserable just now. She's having an awful time. She's got pressure from studying. She's got who used to be her best friend breathing down her neck, literally, and not in a sexy way. And she just feels absolutely awful about what has happened in the past as well. She's in a rough spot, and like this is just another thing to make her feel even worse. Is where I'm going with this. I'm gonna have to do so much research. Not that I don't know anything about it. It's just there's some things I need to establish, basically. Make sure that I'm doing right. I'm gonna need beta readers. That's fine. It's fine. Right, Mel. Right. Right. Yeah, I can totally tell. I spent the last 15 minutes literally just putting off starting writing. Well, let's do this thing. Let's do this thing. So let's just write something. We can even just write an outline. We can even just write an outline just now and then pad it later. Clementine walking to station for uni in the morning. On her period, stomach cramps. Not with an E. Stomach cramps. Feeling decidedly unattractive. And she has a negative perception of herself already. For some reason, sees a half eaten and slightly off looking something or other. I remember starting some fictional work with a whole line of swear words and caps because I couldn't stand the empty page. Yeah. Like you've probably. It sounds like you'll be. I'd imagine Triangle. You're someone who has watched at the very least some of Recreators. You know that anime that came out like, oh god, it must have been 2019. About like the anime characters that come to life and like bring their powers with them. And then they've got to kind of deal with the after effects. It's like a reverse isekai or like alternate fate scenario kind of thing. It's really cool. I need to finish it still. Jesus. Somehow I did not. No, it's interesting. I believe the animation's done by PA Works. I might be mistaken. So it's like good quality animation. The writing's really funny. The characters are great. The first episode opens on the main character who's just like, normal guy, aspiring writer, having blank page syndrome. He like sits down to write, he looks at the empty page and he just can't write. And like over the course of the story, he overcomes his past traumas and he becomes able to be a creator himself. Although I think by that point, probably the supernatural spirits from another world thing will have been resolved, but I've not seen it, so I can't even say. It's great. My backlog started stacking higher in 2018 and grows larger ever since. Mood. So relatable. I've got so many anime to get through. It's not even funny. I might set aside some time to watch anime on Saturday, but then if I do, cuts in my time to writing. So yeah, that's fun. Already, that's what I'm going for. Yeah, it's a good series. I quite like it. The opening theme tune's fantastic as well. I believe it was done by Hiroyuki Sawano, and I believe they also did the actual BGM for the series as well, like the score for it. It's really good, really funny, really cute, really charming, surprisingly dramatic. Good series. Would recommend. But I do need to finish it. Jeez. Got right to what was basically the final fight and then stopped. It was that kind of time, for some reason, to have eaten slightly off looking tangerine Satsuma Clementine. feels really appropriate for her and makes her dwell even more on how awful she feels. We need to put my beloved character through the worst so that she can become the best. And she will. My God, I can't wait. I can't wait to see how the story's going to develop. I've got a vague outline for where it's going, but not set in stone. Let's see. Some hints. Oh, if I could freaking type. Of dread about. There are fireworks in the background for some reason. That's very odd. Some hints of dread about the day ahead. But very vague. It should be understood. It relates to the flashback before. That's true. Get rid of that period. Not the other period. The punctuation period. About a person, maybe a hair. So it's about a person, maybe a her, as well as the work ahead of her. As well as the schoolwork of the day. Travels in, complaints about public transport, because while it is great in this country, it also sucks. My food vocabulary doesn't exist, so I don't know what any of the three are. They're all kinds of small oranges, basically. They're all basically like small, like little oranges kind of thing. They usually peel relatively easy compared to an actual orange, though. They're good. Would recommend. Let's see. Bustle of the university campus. Sounds good. I see. Yes. I'm not sure if this is going to be this paragraph here. I kind of do want to move on to the encounter paragraph right here. This does need to do a lot of setup. I like to do multiple things with a scene. Yeah, I think we might. I know what those are, I just don't know the English words for them. Yeah. That would broadly be these. Tangerine's probably the most common. I don't actually know the major distinctions between several of them. There is a distinction, I just don't know what it is. Let's see. So yeah, this then leads to the encounter. I'm not sure if like the university campus should maybe be in the next section. It doesn't matter overly too much. Arrives at lecture hall. Lecture starts up. Feels passable about the whole thing, as there's no sign of. And this, Brianna appears. We're gonna full cap Brianna. Brianna arrives. Excellent. We're also going to full cap Clementine. Very slightly late. Looking tired. somewhat unkempt. Irritated as usual. Lecture breaks stride for a second, but picks up again as Brianna moves to sit down. Sits down. Not stits. Not stits. Sits down. What did I say? TV, you gotta run? No worries, TV. Thank you for dropping by. Hopefully you found my rambling interesting so far. You have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your day. And yeah, we should catch you hopefully the weekend. Next stream's gonna be Saturday. More Fallout 1. But yeah, take it easy, TV. Sits down naturally right behind Clementine. On an empty, yeah, there's like, you know, lecture halls. There's like big thing going on right behind Clementine, up on the next row of chairs, which Clementine's been dreading. She likes to sit close to the front. Oh yeah, little note. I picture. Oh god, I'm going to be getting some raised eyebrows at the concept of Clementine's character design, because I'm picturing pigtails. I'm picturing like not majorly tall, but like a fair bit taller than average. Fairly well developed. She feels kind of like uncomfortable in her body, overweight, awkward body kind of thing. Pigtails is what jumps to mind. I'm thinking somewhere between Tsubasa Hanekawa from the Monogatari series and what everyone's going to be thinking as I'm describing this, that one girl from Metamorphosis. Oh dear, why? No. Jesus Christ. So yeah, no, that kind of like well-to-do looking, very prim and proper girl kind of thing. But yeah, with the glasses, she is actually going to be short-sighted. So that's going to be my excuse for why she can't just sit at the back of the lecture hall and, you know, not have to have someone sit behind her, because she's got to sit at least close enough to be able to see the front of the hall, basically. That's my excuse. I literally came up with that on the spot. Because I saw plot hole. If someone's bothering you from behind, sit at the back. I oppose. You oppose? You oppose? I mean, fair enough. Okay. This was first pass character design, to be fair. But yeah, if you've got some notes, I'd be more than happy to hear them. But yeah, I'm rolling with this. I'm rolling with this for now. So she's sitting right behind Clementine. And I need to capitalize her name, which she had hoped to avoid. And yeah, notes, Brianna, thumping, not whomping, thumping. Books and notes behind her. Kicking her feet on the desk. Let's see, either wear glasses or sit in the front. I'm insanely short-sighted and glasses allow me to observe anything from everywhere. That's fair. That's fair. Maybe she's just your new prescription. Yeah. I don't have glasses myself, actually. I'm the only person in my immediate family who is not either hyperopic or myopic. So yeah, I'm the only person with like perfect vision, basically. So yeah, no direct experience working with glasses, but yeah, we'll have her prescription needing updated. Something that she's neglecting, along with, you know, her self-esteem, basically. It's just another thing that she's like let slip, or she's still waiting for an appointment. But yeah, this is all somewhat necessary because it serves my purposes as a writer. Because what we're gonna have her do, we're gonna have Brianna do, yeah, while struggling to peer through her out of prescription glasses. Oh, we could always come up with another excuse as to why her glasses aren't good for her. Like maybe she did have a good set of glasses, but they ended up getting broken by Brianna the fiend. That could work. You could spin this BS instead of prescribing weaker glasses, then you need to train your eyes. That sounds absolutely awful. That is. I'm pretty sure that's not a thing. You can't train your eyes with a worse prescription. That just causes eye strain, doesn't it? That sounds so BS. You can't just fix eye problems like that. That's not how it works. Anyway, those ones to be through her out of prescription glasses. Either she hasn't had an appointment in too long, not appointment in too long, or Brianna might have broken her newer ones. There we go. Some people believe it works. It doesn't though. Yeah, it doesn't sound like it would work. Yeah. Brianna tries to play one of her usual jokes. Let's see. Yeah, this exists, especially on lighter cases, which tends instead to propagate these cases far past the light stage. Yeah, that sounds like it. That sounds like it. Why not just like the ideal solution, give someone a pair of glasses if it's a light case, and then their eyes don't get any worse. Or like if they do start to deviate at all, then the glasses becoming out of prescription will then keep them in prescription relatively good. If their theory works, it can prove itself, but it doesn't, so it won't. Yeah. Oh my god, people are idiots. So yeah, this usual joke. Brianna tries to unhook. You see where I'm going with this? Tries to unhook Clementine's bra. Which is what Clementine has been somewhat worried about. Like, this isn't the first time she's tried to do this. Not for the first time. But, I mentioned before, there has been a very minor wardrobe change that leads to everything changing. Everything changing, and the perceptive among you may have realised what this might be. But Brianna has been fooled. Either wear the correct glasses or don't wear any. Yup, indeed. Either way, at least it doesn't damage your eyesight further. Exactly. The less strain, the better. But yes, Clementine, having had enough of this treatment, has prepared accordingly. She is currently wearing no bra at all. No, that's not true. She's wearing a bra. She needs a bra. Bras are useful. She's currently wearing a front open bra. The front open bra. So much less hassle than reaching around behind your torso. So yeah, it's passive rebellion. Passive rebellion. Against Brianna's harassment. Wonderful. Front open bra. I mean, maybe it is a front open bra. Also, I can't spell harassment. So yeah, there we go. This is the inciting incident. This is the inciting incident. For reasons. Why not a sports bra? I heard they're comfortable. Can't deny they're actually pretty comfy, not gonna lie. That is another option, yes. They actually, to my understanding as well, they actually do apply quite a good amount of support as well. But that's not what she went for. Why look fashionable when you don't care about yourself? Exactly. That's fair. But the thing is, like, see, if I did that, then the story wouldn't be able to develop in the way that I want it to. Now, would it? No. Clementine has not gone for a sports bra, although that would also make sense. She's gone for a front open one. I think she's of the. I would say that she probably prefers the underwire. I think she would feel like the underwire gives her the degree of support that she wants and needs and is comfortable with. I'm gonna leave a little note on that. Not that I think I'll necessarily have to write about it, but yeah. Clem didn't go for a sports bra as she feels more comfortable with a underwired bra. There may or may not be sports bras that have underwires. I'm not aware. Honestly, I haven't looked into that particular design in too much detail. But yes, so there we go. It's necessary for the plot. Stop poking holes in my plot. Do you want the Yuri story or not, Nucleus? What do you want here? Do you want me to stop writing? I stopped writing over me being trans before. Don't think I won't stop writing over a bra. My goodness. I'll do it as well. No, I wouldn't. I'm enjoying this. This is actually fun. Yeah, I'm writing a lot of words here, but to be honest, this is probably just going to be more or less like 2 or 3 paragraphs, if that. It feels like I'm writing a lot for this one, mostly because this scene is relatively self-explanatory. I'm feeling like this, the flashback and the fruit scene is going to be like the first half at the most, and then this is going to be like the rest of it, because it goes on further than here as well. I've got way more notes. I can't read your mind, so I think a sports bra works in Yuri as well. A sports bra can absolutely work in Yuri. Absolutely. Would agree. Would agree. But front open's important. It's important. Having fumbled at her back for a minute to no avail. Brianna seems to give up. Allowing Clementine to feel pretty happy with herself. Then Brianna grabs the back strap, pulls and snaps it against. Also, I can't capitalize Brianna. And then snaps it back. Causing a snap and Clementine to yelp. which makes her embarrassed. Which is a shame. Poor Clementine. She's being so bullied here. It's such a shame. How could she overcome such bullying? We'll get there. We'll get there eventually. Then I think this might be a new scene. I don't know. Lesson ends. Either when everyone filters out, or as she splits off from the crowd, Clementine is accosted / dragged off by Brianna. Yeah. The face-to-face confrontation and the face-to-face aspect is very important. Not because there's going to be kissing. It's not yet anyway. It's important. This is a watershed moment in the relationship, so to speak. Also, why is this thingied? It shouldn't be doing that. That's fine. There we go. Is accosted, dragged off by Brianna. Brianna is not impressed about the little stunt with changing her bra, which she wouldn't be because she enjoys making her feel awful. Yeah, this is one of the things that Brianna has going on. Like, she knows what Clementine's vulnerabilities are. She knows what her weaknesses are, her hang-ups, and she's playing on them. Like, she's being very abusive towards her, and in a way that a former friend might do to someone, is what's going on here. There are complex reasons behind it. There are very complex reasons behind it. I'm not giving away all my secrets. If you peered closely earlier on, you might have actually spoiled yourself very slightly. But I don't know how much time you had to do so. There are complex reasons for it, as there are. Like, these are two people who used to be friends. She knows what her weaknesses are, basically. So one of the ways that she kind of plays on this, with Clementine being uncomfortable with her body in general, is making her feel especially uncomfortable with her body. Unhooking the bra removes the level of support and comfort and security that Clementine needs to have a bit more confidence, or at the very least not feel quite as conscious of her body as she normally would. And this is something that Brianna's been doing specifically to get that reaction from Clementine, to make Clementine feel that way for complex reasons. I'm being too nice to Brianna here. She's being awful. Brianna is categorically being an awful person right now. That shouldn't be questioned here. This is a person behaving in a very inappropriate way. I do not condone this. As I said, this is fantasy. This is fantasy we're talking about here. So yeah, she's doing it intentionally. And not being able to do it just frustrates her. So, she's got it in her mind. She's gonna unhook her bra, and that's just what she's going to do, very deliberately. Looking Clementine dead in the eye. She reaches up because she's so much short. Well, she's like shoulder height, maybe a little bit. Yeah, she's around about shoulder height on Clementine, I'd say. She's a bit shorter. So she reaches up and takes hold of the front clasps of Clementine's bra through her shirt. I don't know for sure if it's going to be through the shirt, like over the shirt, or if it's going to, I don't know if she's going to put her hand up her shirt or undo a button or something. I don't know. Through, up, under, through buttons of her shirt. Yeah, through buttons of her shirt. And unhooks the bra. Dun dun dun! This is why! This is why! This is why everything is going this way. This is the scene that was in my head while I was putting all these thoughts down on paper. It was, this is the scene. This is what I want. It's almost like the, you know, like the tall lesbian like picking up short lesbian image meme. People don't know what that is, Melanie. They're not as genned up on lesbian memes as you are. My God. But yeah, I'm seeing it in that kind of way, but like reversed, dynamic reversed. Unhooks the bra. Let's see, and then it's not going to be as simple as that. I'm going to use, you know, much more flowery and suggestive language. I know that means excellent, Adaver. I see you're also a person of culture. So yes, unhooks the bra. Let's see. So yeah, and then it's going to be, let's see. Focus on, less the, or rather focus less on the sexual, the base sexual aspect of the act, the exposed breasts, etc. That's not what we're going for. That's also not how you spell breasts. What's that? Exposed? Is exposed even the word for it? It's not exposed because they're not exposed. They're just, you know, not supported anymore. So we're focusing on the closeness of the two, the firmness of the grip. Brianna's hand as it does the unclasping, the eye contact, the breath, the breathing, the general intimacy. This is the most, this is the closest, most personal interaction the two have had in months. Also, I can't spell at all, but it's fine. This is the closest, most personal interaction the two have had in months since they grew apart. Grew apart isn't right. Fell apart. They were not in a like relationship before. Certainly not a romantic or physical relationship before. They used to be friends. It was friendship. Something happened. They fall apart, and now they're here. And this just kind of leans into everything. This is where things are starting to go. It's going to be this kind of like subtly SM or, you know, dominant submissive thing going on with them. It's going to be what lets them begin to let down the boundaries they have between each other. And that's going to be it. This is basically the direction things are starting to go. Yes, kind of thing. So yeah, this is the closest most personal interaction to have had in months since it fell apart. As dysfunctional as it is. Like, this is not a display of a healthy relationship here, and it's not meant to be taken as such. But it's what starts getting the relationship moving in the right direction. Basically. It's let's see, the dynamics of the situation. Let's see the dynamics of the situation. Basically allow them to get past some of the hang-ups they have with each other, and each of them strangely, let's see, each of them strangely and as a surprise to each of them, finds it pleasant, to say it lightly. Yeah, it like changes the dynamic of the moment. Dynamics of the situation changes from one of bullying to one of, is it even not quite loosened inhibitions? How would I describe this? It's not loosened inhibitions, it's I don't know how to describe it. There's a word for what I'm going for here, and I can't quite put my finger on it. Let me have a look at my notes from the other day. Let's see. Where is it? Yeah. Tension, dealing with own stuff. I don't know. Surprised mutual enjoyment. Basically allow them to get past some of the hang-ups they have with each other, and each of them strangely, yeah, that kind of, that's the vibe that I want to go for. Well, it doesn't contain that, it describes the vibe I want to go for. It doesn't convey the vibe I want to go for. Suddenly becoming aware of the change in the dynamic. Brianna bottles it. Blinks first. Yeah. Because Brianna, despite being the strong one, so to speak, in this scenario, she's a bit of a softie as well, actually. As I said, there's more going on with Brianna than might initially be suggested by her attitude and her behavior and the way that she treats Clementine. So yeah, Brianna blinks first. She basically makes an awkward joke as if to dismiss the situation and leaves. Yep, she just completely bottles it. It's like, damn it, you idiot, you're so close to making some progress and getting over your shit, and you freaking dropped the ball. Well done, Brianna. So yeah, she just leaves like that. I imagine her just like running off and going, what the frick just happened there? And like not quite, like, it's not like she isn't aware of what's going on, but she doesn't know how that situation came about. And there's too much cognitive dissonance going on for her to be able to resolve. So she's out of there. She can't do it. She's full of bluster. Clementine, on the other hand. How's Clementine feeling? She's shocked and surprised and not entirely sure what's going on. So is it just another of Brianna's cruel jokes? But then what happened to the mood for a bit there? She's got no idea. She's got no idea. And honestly, she doesn't have the self-confidence and self-awareness yet to quite be able to parse what's just happened. Like, as far as she's concerned, Brianna hates her and is treating her awfully because Clementine is what she thinks she is, an awful person. I'm going to write that down, actually. As far as she's aware, Brianna hates her, perhaps rightfully so. And yeah. My writing skills are terrible if you haven't noticed. So many typos. So yeah, that is that's more or less the key of this scene. Also, my god, I wrote a lot for this encounter. You can tell I've had this in my head for like, wait, how long has it been now? 3 days? I think it's been 3 days now since this came to mind. And yeah, this is the inciting incident. This is what's going on. This is chapter 1, basically. This is the outline of chapter 1. We've written an outline. Maybe not line for line. We've maybe not actually got the words down on paper. But it's a better outline than what I've had so far. Like, what I've had so far has been, let's see, it's down here. Literally just this section here. Rotten fruit. The fruit may or may not be Brianna's. I've not decided yet. Bran hooked by Brianna. Brianna cabidons Clementine after class and unhooks it from the front. Close proximity and direct contact changes the mood from bullying to surprising excitement for both parties. Feeling suddenly awkward and strangely ashamed, Brianna makes a blustering excuse and hardly leaves, as Clementine pondered what just happened. That's it. That's all I had. And this already had more in it than all of this. Oh dear me. But yeah, no, we've got it more or less beat for beat now, rather than just general vibes. Certainly for the main section. Clementine walking is not beat for beat, it's still more or less general vibe. But yeah, this is beat for beat and could be paragraph for paragraph. But that just needs some more elaboration. Just needs a little bit more elaboration. So yeah, that's it. What about the flashback? Maybe a few more words to round out chapter. Question mark. But yeah, that's basically the most important scene in the first chapter. It's exposition chapter, not because her breasts are being exposed. It's the exposition chapter because I'm using the 5-act structure, which I like. I like using the 5-act structure. It's fun. So yeah. This is good. This is good. I'm feeling really good about this. So the flashback scene, which, funnily enough, I wanted to do second, but I feel like I'm coming back to now, because now I kind of know what I want to piece in here. The flashback is going to be effectively like kind of a dream sequence of Clementine's. Kind of. Not necessarily, but kind of. So establish that Brianna excuse me. We need to establish that Brianna appears to hate Clementine's guts. Establish the feelings of shame and guilt that Clementine has about the situation, whether founded or not, because they're not entirely founded, as to why she doesn't speak up about it. Because yeah, you'd be thinking, why doesn't Clementine speak up about it? Like, if she's being bullied by someone, even if it was a former friend, actually almost especially if it's been a former friend, why would she not speak up about it? Why wouldn't she say, yo, this person's treating me like shit? She feels like she deserves it, basically. And also, we need to set up the bra unhooking scene coming later with a flashback to the last time. The last / first time Brianna played that trick. That's what needs to go into the flashback. Kind of like to establish the animosity between the two, or from Brianna to Clementine. We need to establish that Clementine feels ashamed and guilty over what happened, so she doesn't speak up about it. Maybe with a short appearance from one of her parents, likely Jillian, and set up the bra unhooking scene. That's just so that people know what to expect, and so that then people are surprised when it doesn't happen again. It kind of sets up the scene, lets people know that it's coming, and yeah, that's gonna be interesting. Can we put in? I think we're good. I think we're good. I think I'm quite happy with this. Right, we've got an outline. It's an outline at the very least. Hold on, this should not be there. Delete you. Delete. We need to rename. Oh, not delete, not delete, not delete. That would have been bad. We need to rename it. Why is delete right next to that? Outline. Yeah, we'll call it chapter 1 outline because it's going to be the outline rather than the actual chapter. So yeah, good, awesome, love it. I'm very happy with this. This is okay. I've not actually written. To be fair, the tag on this stream is somewhat of a misnomer because I haven't actually written the actual script here. Or I say script. It's not going to be a script. It's going to be prose. I'm writing prose. God help me. Yeah, the plan's going to be writing prose. And yeah. I think I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it. This basically hits all the beats for what I was going to do. I think we're probably going to stop here as far as the writing's concerned anyway. Having the outline is really good. Again, unfortunately, I do think I've very slightly I've very slightly used this as an excuse to not actually have to write the chapter. Just doing this. This is something that I should have done before, but I've not had much time. I've only had 3 days to think on this. And I was up until silly o'clock yesterday just looking up names for the characters, which was very fun. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, very tired. But no, I'm very happy with this. I'm very happy with this. I've got a good outline for chapter 1. It's the important one. I'm probably going to do the other chapters as well. Probably not today. I'll probably do chapter... Yeah, I can't do it today. I mean, I could do it today. Could do some planning for today. I can do some planning for chapter 2 onwards today. But yeah, I think I'm gonna do the other chapters off stream probably, and I don't know. Maybe we'll do another one of these writing streams. Once I have a chapter to actually write. Well, I mean, I've got a chapter to write, but maybe I'll get the ball rolling and then start writing, or maybe I'll do another outline on stream for the next chapter. Maybe something like that. I've not decided yet. This is very much a touch and go kind of thing. I have not yet figured out how I'm going to do this. But I know I want to write it because I like where this is going. I like where the story's going. It's not going to be a long story. It's not going to be a complicated story. But that's kind of the point. I just want to write. I just want to write it. I like it. I like the characters. I like the scenario. I like where it's going. I like what's going to happen with it. Beyond what I've described. So yeah, no, I think we'll call the stream here, pretty much. I think we'll call it here. Yeah, I'll do some notes on chapter 2 onwards in my own time, and then we'll come back to here. That sounds good. But yes, we will call the stream here. So yeah, massive thank you to everyone for coming along today. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for humoring me as I talk about yet another project that I'm going to be working on. My goodness. But yeah, if we can actually finish this one, I'll be very happy. I'll be very happy if we can finish this one. I think, yeah, I'm gonna make a point. I'm gonna make a point of making some time to work on this over the next couple of days. I think tomorrow I can probably make some time to do, at the very least, another outline. I'll do some planning for said outline or other outlines tonight. And I should be able to do a little bit more on like Saturday as well. I think like by Saturday I expect I should have the outlines done if I spend a fair amount of time on them. So yeah, we'll see about that. We'll see if I can get the outlines done by Saturday. We'll see how that goes. This is going to be a busy month for me in many ways, mostly at work. So yeah, life is taking somewhat of a backseat to that a little bit, but work is not going to like overspill into life, I don't think. So that's going to be good. But yes, no, that's going to do it for me. It's going to do it for me. Yeah, massive thank you for coming along. I hope this has been interesting. I hope people have been interested in my process. I hope people are interested in the premise. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to making some progress on another story. We'll see how it goes. But yes, stream is over. Next stream, as I said earlier, we are going to be playing some more Fallout 1 on Saturday. We're going to be starting at 2 p.m. UTC plus 0. I believe where we got to, we had just joined the Brotherhood of Steel. So we are going to be talking with everyone in the Brotherhood of Steel. We are probably going to be becoming slightly less dumb because it's a low intelligence run of Fallout 1. We're probably going to become a little less dumb. And I don't know. I think there's a couple of missions that we might be able to do. It might be the last stream. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. And yeah, once we're done, or rather when we're done on Saturday, we are going to be reading Valdis. We're going to be reading Valdis. She's having her full debut on Saturday. I believe it's going to be at 6 p.m. UTC plus 1. I'm not sure, something like that. But yeah, we're gonna read into her on Saturday. It's gonna be great. I can't wait. Looking forward to another friend debuting. It's gonna be fun. So yeah. Anyway, with that being said, I have been Melanie. This has been my latest writing project. Thank you so much again for coming. Until next time, be good to yourselves. Take care of yourselves. And I will see you all again very, very soon indeed. Bye bye, everyone. Bye 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 bye. Bye bye. Thank you, Adaver. Thank you, Nucleos. Thank you for chilling here. I hope it's been interesting. I hope so. I'm probably not going to make too much of a habit of these writing streams. Maybe at least until I have more to write. This is still a bit of brainstorming, although I did know what I was doing. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I don't expect this is going to be like a major streaming segment kind of thing. Let's see, who are we gonna raid? Let's raid Fractabellum. Fractabellum's good. What just happened? That was odd. Fractabellum. There we go. Who appears to be developing a game of some kind. Which is interesting. Let's raid a fellow game dev and programmer. But yeah, thank you for coming, folks. Take it easy. Be good to yourselves. Matane.